Typically, in the National Football League, we had some exciting games throughout the league yesterday, and typically on Monday Night Football, let's take a look at the action as it took place, and here's Howard.
That's Bart Starr, rookie head coach. Winless Green Bay Packers plays Texas Stadium, Irving, Texas. Opposition, Dallas Cowboys. And this was a hard-hitting, combative defensive game. This play illustrating. Starr back to Drew Pearson. Cracked down so savagely, he fumbles. The Pack recovers. The Pack was up for this one, believe me. They were hitting that way all day long. Took a surprising 3-0 lead in the first half. Then in early third quarter action, the handoff. Starr back to Preston Pearson, the former Steeler. 32-yard gain. Pearson had a great day, gained 101 yards all day. And then 2 plays later, the handoff to Newhouse, touchdown. Dallas with a 7-3 lead. But Green Bay was destined to come back. 5 plays after the ensuing kickoff. Hadel to Will Harrell, a brilliant rookie out of Pacific. Approaching the right sideline, eluding the tackler that you just saw. 26 yards, touchdown, extra point missed. Green Bay 9-7. And then, in later action, the score now 17-9 in favor of Dallas. The kickoff after a Dallas field goal. Steve Odom, the fleet-footed one from Utah. Moving into the middle, finding his hole, then darting left, eluding 1, 2 tacklers. Going downfield, maybe on his way for a touchdown. But no, finally stopped. 73-yard kick run and all. That set up a Green Bay field goal. That made it 17-12 Dallas. Then, with 1:52 left in the game, Hadel again from 26 yards out, spotting the big tight end, Rick McGeorge out of Elon. And so Green Bay upsets the Dallas Cowboys. The score, 19-17. Green Bay under finally a fresh start with Bart. Dallas no longer unbeaten. The boots, the pants, and the angular look of Bum Phillips, the head coach of the Houston Oilers, no longer a league doormat, one of the better teams in the NFL. And this is the kind of hard-hitting game this one was. Clothesline tackle by Houston. And this tackle on Kilmer as he went out of bounds by Bob Brazil, the rookie linebacker from Jackson State. Brazil was ejected from the game after this one, and that aroused the Houston defense throughout the day. Still, Washington got the early lead. Second quarter action, no score. Kilmer back. Charlie Taylor, we've talked enough about him. Number 42 gets the pass, and that set up a Washington touchdown. Washington leading 7-0. Then early in the third quarter with the same score, Dan Pastorini back to throw. On the move, had to scramble. Found 0-0, Kenny Burrow, all alone. He runs out of bounds after a fine catch, and they went in to score. Houston did. Missed the conversion. That made it 7-6. 5 plays later, after the kickoff. Billy Kilmer again to little Mike Thomas, 5th-round draft choice out of Las Vegas, Nevada. That one good for a 33-yard gain. 4 plays later, it's 4th and 11 to go. It's on the Houston 24-yard line. In comes Joe Theismann to hold, and Mike Mosley kicks the field goal, but he's downed by number 38, C.L. Whittington. Personal foul call, but the Redskins declined the field goal, which was good. Too bad for them, as later events proved, because on the very next play, Kilmer was intercepted. The Redskins don't even score. Second play of the fourth quarter. The Redskins leading 10-6. It's 4th and goal to go. Don Hardeman, the rookie, number 1 draft choice of Houston, goes in for the touchdown. Houston wins 13-10. The Detroit Lions against the Minnesota Vikings, Bloomington Stadium. And once again, the hitting that so typifies the black and blue division. But Minnesota is a solid, sound, balanced ball club this year that can strike anywhere at any time. Look at Tarkenton pointing to his blockers, telling them where to go. Downfield. Brilliant, extraordinary catch by John Gilliam, number 42. And this typified Minnesota's play on the whole day. Always in that Minnesota attack, there is the likes of number 44. Forget that sideline squabble. Chuck Foreman, the complete football player, twisting, turning, spinning, bursting through the left side. Good for a 16-yard gain. Chuck gained 107 yards on the day. And then Tarkenton to another receiver he's grown fond of, Eddie Marinaro, out of Cornell. That was a touchdown. Minnesota went on to win it over Detroit, 25-19.
America rolling. Roll on America, roll. Get on Goodyear radials. Roll on America, roll.
Goodyear wants America on radials because gas-saving Goodyear radials can help America lower the cost of driving. There's a value-priced Goodyear radial tire to fit your kind of car and budget.
Get on Goodyear radials. Save America, save.
So come on, America, let's get saving now on Goodyear radials.
Roll on America, roll.
Pouring rain at Schaefer Stadium, Foxborough, Massachusetts. The signal for a day of defense. And the defense was mainly on the part of the New England Patriots against the Baltimore Colts. This play exemplifying what I mean. Tony McGee sacking young Burt Jones, and they sacked Burt 6 times on the day for a total loss of 57 yards. But there were moments of offense like this one. The pitch out to a young man named Andy Johnson, second-year pro, gained 124 yards on the day and 18 rushes. This particular play, 66 yards, touchdown. New England 21, Baltimore 10. What a dreadful rainy day at Shea Stadium. What a dreadful, dreadful performance by the New York Jets. You're looking at Joe Namath right now. This play typical. Attempted pass, tip. Picked off by Kurt Johnson, who picked off 3 on the day. Namath intercepted 6 times on the day. A one-sided game, a rout unexpectedly. The Jets had seemed so improved, but this a disgraceful performance. And Greasy having a field day. At this point, the score 33-0. Hitting Jim Mandich, the tight end. Possession and control ruled. That made it 40-0. The Dolphins enjoyed a 43-0 rout. Kansas City at San Diego. The Chiefs alive after their upset victory a week earlier over Oakland. This, a brilliant play-action fake by Livingston. It froze the linebackers. It set up a touchdown pass to the rookie from Maryland, Waller White, whom the Steelers had dropped earlier in the season. And so Kansas City went on to win the ball game by a score of 12-10.
And here in Buffalo, before a packed house of 80,000, the Buffalo Bills are out in front of the Giants at halftime, 14-7. ABC's NFL Monday Night Football, the New York Giants versus the Buffalo Bills, is brought to you by Lincoln Mercury. See all our 76 cars with their new EPA mileage estimates. We are proud of them at the Sign of the Cat. We'll be ready for the second half kickoff between the Giants and the Bills after this word from our local stations. Buffalo over New York at halftime, 14-7. John Leipold set to kick off for Buffalo. Deep, Danny Bugs, 86, 44. Doug Coder for New York. Drilled on the ground. Picked up there. Number 89 for New York. Jam Obradovic, the All-American from USC of a year ago.
So quickly, the Giants have field position. And let's see if they can continue the offensive play that they executed late in the second quarter. When first the offensive line provided a ground game, and second, isn't that ridiculous?
There's the bicentennial pinup.
Yeah, that is a collector's item, I'll tell you.
From their own 41-yard line, Ron Johnson gets the call, gets a couple of yards. Out over the left side. It'll be second down, a long 8. Craig Morton goes again at quarterback for New York, threw a touchdown pass to Ray Rhodes to shorten the Buffalo lead to 14-7. Craig Morton, number 15, an 11-year veteran. All of those years up until part of the season was gone last year with the Dallas Cowboys when he joined the Giants. Second down, a long 8. The ball just short of the 43-yard line. Johnson in motion. This is Dawkins over the left side. And Dawkins, who did most of the work in the first half, picks up 3 more. It'll be third down, a long 3. There's Craig Morton. 11 years he's been around, was the number 1 draft pick for the Cowboys back in the mid-60s. There's Larry Watkins.
Not playing much tonight.
Doug Coder, who started the game and has been alternating with Ron Johnson. There's the big wide receiver, the 6'5" Walker Gillette. There's Ray Rhodes, the other wide receiver, and the tight end, Bob Tucker, number 38. From their own 47, and smearing Joe Dawkins is the middle of the Buffalo Bills line. Croker, the middle linebacker, was in there, but he had much help from number 73, Earl Edwards.
Well, that was an over attempt to establish the ground game, and I don't understand the call. I was saying that Craig Morton got his offense going by establishing the ground game, but also by throwing passes on first down and by rolling out to throw, which took the Buffalo secondary, I think, by surprise.
Dave Jennings, he'll punt to Gary Heyman, 21, John Holland, number 80.
Heyman and Holland back, Buffalo.
Jennings puts it high in the air. The fair catch is called for at the 11 and made by Gary Heyman. Or rather at the 16, and Buffalo now gets their first crack at offense here in the second half. There's Joe Ferguson, led the Bills to a brilliant first quarter. O.J. Simpson, who was held to 66 yards. Jim Braxton, number 34, the big 240-pounder, the other setback. J.D. Hill, who scored a touchdown. Joe Ferguson, and number 81, Bob Chandler.
I love his hair.
There he is, the blocking tight end, Paul Seymour, number 87. First and 10 for Buffalo. The crowd begins to chant. They want to see some action. Braxton, following the block of Joe DeLamalure over the left side, gets a couple of yards. It'll be second down and 8. And a look at the offensive line, and they're the Electric Company, as they are known up here in Buffalo. They provide the power for the juice. I mentioned that all of them are out of the Big Ten, with the exception of the center, Mike Mottler, number 53. DeLamalure, McKenzie at the guards, Foley, and Donnie Green at the tackles. Ball just short of the 20-yard line for Buffalo. Second down and 8. Frank Gifford along with Howard Cosell and Alex Karras. The undefeated Buffalo Bills against the 1-3 Giants. Ferguson sliding his backs, finding J.D. Hill wide open at the 36-yard line. Hill lunges forward, gets out to the 39, a gain of 20, and Ferguson on target tonight.
I would remind our viewers that Ferguson was a 4th-round draft choice. You can pick up, as you look there at the Buffalo offensive line, Foley, McKenzie, Mottler, DeLamalure, and Donnie Green. You can pick up quarterbacks on low-round draft choices who prove out to be very effective, and I don't believe this.
He wants to get on your
Guy
show,
wants to be
Howard.
Philippe Petit and be on my Saturday night show.
You know, they've strung that all across the stadium. From the 39-yard line, O.J. Simpson out close to midfield, short of the first down, I believe, just short of the 49-yard line. A gain of 9 for O.J. Simpson.
Isn't that absurd?
Well, it all could be tragic unless the gentleman knows what he's doing, because the line is strung completely across the stadium. How they got it there, we don't know. And how
will they get him down, Giff? That's the more important question.
Second down, the ball just over the 48-yard line for Buffalo. O.J., the inside handoff. John Mendenhall, the right tackle for the Giants, playing a fine football game tonight, made the stop again.
And here's the front four, Dave Gallagher, 71, and I just think they're doing a good job tonight. Peter Zach, Mendenhall, as Frank has told you, is kind of small but quick, and Jack Gregory, who's the old-timer on that thing. I think they're doing a good job so far. Pretty good job.
A loss of about a foot. Third down now. Ball at the 48-yard line. Simpson, and he does not get the first down. And O.J. Simpson, you won't see him stop on consecutive plays like that many times in his career.
They have really tightened up the Giants. They're playing good, solid, quality football right now. Stopping Buffalo must give them a new momentum.
Buffalo will have to punt on fourth down. Bateman set to kick. There are the deep men for the Giants. Buggs is back there. And this is Danny Buggs. Calls for it, makes the fair catch at the 20-yard line. That's the 33-yard punt.
That's the best return Buggs has had tonight.
And there is a gentleman in a bit of trouble here at Buffalo, where we'll return in just a moment. First and 10 for the New York Giants. They begin their operation just short of their own 21-yard line. Dawkins out close to the 25. And one thing that Giants have done is establish a running game that began to take hold in the second quarter.
Remember DeLamalois,
they've been doing well.
Frank DeLamalois said that the Giants would fold. They're the ones who've been coming on. And in 22 carries, the Juice has gained 74 yards. That's little more than 3 yards per carry. The Giants are doing a professional job.
The ball just over the 24. Second down and 6. Ron Johnson in motion. Morton with the play-action fake. Drops the football, bobble around, still being bobbled around, and New York comes up with it again.
That time they were lucky. That was an unprofessional job.
Ball slipped out of Craig Morton's hand.
Our friend on the tightrope is nearing his destination. You see him there.
Why doesn't this
Police,
ever
I'm
happen?
sure, will be waiting for him. They've had a tarpaulin under him. You know, this is a bad scene.
This is
The
ridiculous.
psyche of fan behavior. I've talked about it before. It's a great thing to come to a football game and enjoy it, but these kinds of antics, really.
Third down, a long 3. Ball just over the 27. Morton looking. Dumps it off to Ron Johnson.
That time they were looking
Thorfinn
for
was
it.
there. And New York will have to punt.
Well, let's see if Buffalo can recapture its drive. The drive that so completely dominated the game for better than a quarter and a half in the first half.
Dave Jennings comes in.
Jennings to kick 40 yards.
Deep. Gary Heyman, 21. Number 80, John Holland. There they are. 21 is Heyman. Holland is 80. End over end. And a very chancy maneuver on the part of Heyman. At his own 34, he gets an additional 4 yards with a very chancy maneuver.
Well, they've got good field position, Frank, and they get their shot.
7:53 remaining in the third quarter from Buffalo, and we'll return here in just a moment. Gabe will also be with Howard on Saturday Night Live. He'll be hosting the segment live from SeaWorld in San Diego, and there will be also a replay and a visit with Evel Knievel as he makes an attempt Saturday afternoon to jump 14 buses. Okay, Joe Ferguson. Ferguson on first and 10, going to the air. Over the middle, incomplete to J.J. Hill, and almost picked off there.
Ferguson's unhappy about that, knows he shouldn't have thrown the way he did throw, and maybe shouldn't have thrown at all. Let's take a look at what happened to our friend on the high wire.
Poor man's Philippe
Thank
Petit.
heavens.
That
Police
wire,
are
by
there.
the way, Howard, is strung across the field to hold a net that keeps the footballs on the conversion from going into the crowd, not to save the price of a football, but to keep the fans from injuring themselves battling for it.
I hope
Hope
Gabe Kaplan teaches his students not to do that.
Second down and 10. Ball at the 38 for Buffalo. O.J. Simpson down the left side, up into it. He goes over the 42.
He's going to hit 100 yards again tonight, but he's having tough yardage. I think we should take another look at this.
Henry
Juice
Stuckey came up to put the pop on O.J.
Well, the Juice starts slowly, looking, reading, as always. Suddenly turns it on. But Gregory is over there after him, slows him up, and then Stuckey, as you said, put him away.
Third down and 5. O.J. now 79 yards, 23 attempts. Ball resting at the 43-yard line of Buffalo. Both teams having their problems here in the third quarter. Buffalo leading 14-7. Ferguson looking for Chandler and dumps it off to the tight end, Seymour. Seymour has the first down right at midfield. Bobby Brooks taking Seymour out of bounds at a gain of 8.
Howard, you know I was just kidding about O.J. Simpson. I think he's a great ball player, and I've been playing around because the only thing I'm disgusted about is that O.J., even as an actor and as a speaker, he does a real good job. And I just want to prove to you that I think linemen can speak just as good. Maybe
Just as
even
well.
maybe even gooder.
Just as, I understand.
That's all I'm trying to say.
Ball inside the 50. First penetration by Buffalo in this half. Play action fake. Ferguson to the air and is picked off, underthrown, and number 39, the tight safety, Clyde Powers, comes up with it for New York.
We really got a ball game now, Alex.
Well,
Really.
it's Monday night. What do you expect, Howard? Monday Night Football.
Let's look at it again. Ferguson and underthrows the ball intended for Chandler. Powers made a good defensive move. There's Chandler in the
He's
clear,
all alone.
but played perfectly by Clyde Powers, the second-year man from Oklahoma. Good field position for New York. Their own 39-yard line. Morton gives the ball to Johnson. And Johnson out over the 45 to the 47. It's a gain of 8. Second down and 2.
Johnson looking better than he's looked all year, than he looked all last year. Threaded his way through then and picked up substantial yardage, as Frank described. I've got next to me a kid from Ocean Avenue in Brooklyn. Used to root for Erasmus Hall. Now he's a teacher. Named Carter. Welcome back, Gabe Tapper.
Second down and 2. Dawkins spinning.